Good evening, guys. Welcome to a new, mostly fresh start run. We're going to be going for Vitality Phantasmal Blades. We're going to be playing a Reaper, which is a Nightblade Necromancer, and so I usually go over this at the beginning of the run, but we'll probably go over it more than once. So what I do for SSF run, I don't reset my blueprints because I just don't want to bother resetting the entire save file every single time I do one of these. But everything we make, uh, everything we craft has to be with components our character finds. All gear is stuff that we find. I use relic blueprints, but pretty much I'm not going to say craft 4 helms and transmute them, even if I have the components, because that just seems a little bit cheesy and unrealistic. Whereas the relic stuff drops, and if you don't get one relic blueprint, you'll at least get a decent workable relic. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's have to create a new character. Good day. Welcome in, Viley. Yeah, I'm going to play more XCOM tomorrow, but this whole variety streaming thing has made me want to play more Grim Dawn. So I think it's probably going to be for February when I'm trying to stream every day. I think it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday are variety days, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday are Grim Dawn. Because when I'm doing the SSF runs, that's a lot more time per character, less pressure to find stuff on Grim Tools, and way less burnout. So, we never ever want to play Veteran because Veteran is a scam. And look at this 10% bonus XP, 140 monster health, 15% monster damage. Like, no, it's never going to be a good idea if you want to get through the game efficiently. It's not bad for learning mechanics, but you can do that on Elite and Ultimate. So anyway, let's go. I don't really think so. You're not getting legendaries early normal anyway, and MIs are still going to drop with okay affixes.
You're not looking too bad for the body you will need.
All right, we are. Take the note. It's not worth that much XP, but we don't really need that much. Oh yeah, and move. I mean, I think that's just bad luck. All right, Nightblade. All right, we don't have access to PB for a bit. Alright, we got ourselves a nice two-handed weapon. I mean, I've never really had problems with affixes on SSF. I mean, you can have a hard time getting those to drop on Ultimate. They just don't like to drop. Rex still has more than me. I'm pretty sure he's over 8,000. If that's what you're referring to, welcome in G2. I do think I have slightly more than Warborn. I think he's slightly over 6K now. Though he does stream every day, so probably catching up. Yeah, no, Rect has a lot of hours still. Yeah, we're going to be Vitality. Vitality PB. That missed. That's one-handed. We don't really care about that. Hey, Susie. We are starting with absolutely nothing. Welcome in. This is the, other than not resetting my blueprints, which is too much of a pain in the butt to be worth it to me, this is about as close to simming a new player experience as I get. So 1 point pneumatic burst. I usually fight Kaizog before coming up here, but I figured we'd try something a little different. Get the White Mire Rift first. So, answer 1 is don't press this button. If I press it now, it's not the end of the world because we don't have too much. Answer 2 is I have this confirmation set up so that if I accidentally press this button, I have to screw up twice in order to lose all my components. So other than the fact that you have to keep it in your character's inventory instead of your personal stash for it to take from the inventory and not your shared stash first, it's really not that bad for SSF. I mean, it's a little annoying to have the extra inventory space taken up, but it's a pretty minor issue. What's up, Master Halls? Welcome in. Yeah, just basically just don't hit the button that moves your components. That's all there is to it. Trying to finish a Reaper, Master Halls. Nice. We are starting a Reaper. There's a scrap. Level up. Ooh. That guy hurt. That guy hits hard. Cold Conjurer. What are you planning to do with that, Master Halls, in terms of what set are you using? All right. And we got another scrap. Very nice. Oh, spam Doombolt, nice. Yeah, I did that as a witch hunter. I'm sure Conjurer is also very good. Might even be better. I think the second node of PB gives a pass-through, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute. Yeah, 5 Wind Devils is pretty nice. And you do get more RR and more health that way.
The dead a creature. I need some time to plan. Welcome to
Alright, this guy I think is going to give me scraps, so we're actually going to do this quest. Hey, welcome in, Farnsworth.
Greetings, child. I am pleased.
Ah, yes, the old respawning Wind Devils cheese. Back in the day. Alright, this needs... Alright, 1 point Phantasmal Armor, and we'll keep pushing. I think we need more scraps, so we're just going to push up a little bit further. I don't think I've used a season mod in such a long time. Just it not being compatible with the base game kind of reduces my ability to enjoy it. Wow, only one affix. That is pretty rare. Sometimes you see that on low-level items, but not normally. Okay, we do have the 5 scrap, but we might as well grab this shrine before we go back. It's a lot of enemies. Welcome in, Slick. Welcome in, Miso. You came right when I left yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was a shorter one.
Captain, impressive. Well, since I'm cleared for cruise.
I wouldn't have worked yesterday. Yeah, I was trying to get a bunch of stuff done yesterday. Good news is stopping the stream early. Let me hit my writing goal for the day and let me get a little bit of a workout in as well. So yeah, Amazon has a bunch of stuff they give away, but I think it probably involves using their launcher or something. That's just not worth the effort for me. Whoa. Okay, this is a 0% poison res life. Even trash mobs hurt a little bit. Oh, that seems like a little bit of an annoyance. Well, then at least you got something for the annoyance, right? You'd still rather not have to deal with it, but I suppose free stuff is free stuff if it's not too bad for your sanity. Yeah, I'm noticing that too, Viley. I think I played maybe 3 missions yesterday, and I basically said, okay, that's good. You really don't have to commit to that long for to play it. Because in some ways, that might even make it a better game to play off stream. And play something where like a 2 to 3 hour session is more rewarding on stream, but we'll see. I don't think the listed percentages are actually wrong, Farnsworth. I think it's the classic, you know, you remember the time when you have 99% chance to hit and it doesn't actually hit. Yeah. And it's like, thing is, you can miss back-to-back 90% shots 1% of the time. That's how math works. It feels really bad when it happens because, I mean, it's not supposed to happen. A 1% chance, it's not zero, but it's infrequent enough that you expect it to be zero. Because humans are naturally very bad at understanding that a very low probability is not zero and a very high probability is not 100. Yeah, exactly, Viley. Like I missed a 98% chance to hit yesterday, but I got a headshot on a 30%er. So sometimes you just get lucky. Okay, this is going to do way more damage, so... Alright, we have a little bit of pass-through now and a little bit of native leech. That's helpful. We'll take 1 point in Night's Chill. A couple points in Physique, and now, let's see. Phantasmal Blades is hitting for actually not that much more. I guess the percent weapon damage compared to the other stuff isn't that high yet. Oh well. Not a big deal. Maybe this is better. 558, 573. Yeah, it's slightly better. Okay, requires level 16. Milton Helm requires level 12. Okay. Yeah, I played Blood Bowl very briefly. I think Blood Bowl 2 is the one I have. I didn't play it enough to really understand the strategy. I think that's the sort of game where a certain amount of study is, like many games, a certain amount of study and understanding kind of the meta and how things work is rewarded. Ah, that actually hit me. I thought I was far enough away to dodge to avoid the sunder. We have no poison res, so I kind of don't want to get hit by this poison shotgun either. Impenetrable of celerity. It's our 1882. Let's see, Viley. I have 7 hours. I mean, yeah, that's not every game is necessarily going to be super fun. And if you embrace, I guess, or I'd say not every game is going to be super great for competition. I think in general stuff where luck play, the more of an outsized part luck plays, the less good it is for competition. But yes, see that does sound funny, Viley, but perfect game to play while drinking. We are still tolerated, so not able to even get the fabric quest. All right, so we're gonna go the flooded passage route. Okay, that's 2 Slith necklaces, not 3. Blighted of Attack is a nice roll, Viley. Yeah, it's all right, Farnsworth. I know I should be dual wielding, but it's fine. We might actually do a Malkadar Reaper as an SSF build. I think that I've done the Spellbreaker. I think the Reaper could be a good good alternative.
Move along.
Yeah, I knew of Neverwinter Nights. I only ever I got into Baldur's Gate a bit. That was kind of my game. And given the amount of time I spent playing like Diablo, StarCraft, and other things like that, I just never got into another CRPG. But I know it's a classic. I think maybe it's the enhanced edition of Baldur's Gate, which is what I have now. But the enhanced edition, I think, does let you triple class if you really wanted to. And I know Baldur's Gate 2, you can upload a Baldur's Gate 1 save. So a while ago, I got the Siege, I think it's Siege of Dragonspear. And my plan is to play through that to kind of get the party I want. So, so Baldur's Gate 2 will maybe be a little bit easier to start. I want to properly dual class Imoen and not have her be useless for a while. And I think if I play through Siege of Dragonspear, I'll be able to pull that off. I'm not sure. I might. Yeah, I don't think I'll use any mods. I think modded play is fine if you for me, if I play the base game and really like it, then it's worth looking at possibly doing mods, although I have a ton of time in the original Harebrained Schemes BattleTech. I know Rogue Tech exists. I know there's BattleTech Advanced and a bunch of other things that I just have not touched the modded version yet.
Well, I'll be.
I don't think it's muted. It's a bit on the quiet side. I can turn that up a bit. And officially playing the game in the library. Nice. All right, let's try this for now. It wasn't muted, it was just fairly quiet.
What do you want? What's with all the items? Have you found good that there have been warden?
Oh, where's the third fabric? Is it, says we have 2 out of 3. There's no quest marker. Unless I'm just not seeing it, which is always possible. Oh, yeah, it's here. We should put on the Shambler amulet. I don't know why I didn't replace the salt bag. Yeah, those are definitely on the good enough Violet, because it's really the skill modifier is what you truly are after. Hold, hold, hold. Okay, Pierce Chaos Elemental, Pierce Poison Elemental. We have some poison res now, which is nice. Yeah, if we think our mana usage is bad now, we're in for a very rude awakening if we try spam, which is why I'm keeping it on cooldown for the time being. Till we get some energy regen. We don't have a lot of great options. Alright. Let's just move on. We don't need to kill everything. Okay, 19% Aether Res. Alright, we got the Warden's Lab Rift. Now let's actually take a minute. I have a devotion map planned for this. It's a little different because I have to get Kraken and Hydra in here. Which does complicate things a bit. Okay, so yeah, we have this is just for devotions and maybe a couple of the MI, so obviously far from finished, but we get Revenant, A-Bomb, Ratosh, Kraken, Hydra, Bat. Apparently, we put our point in Scorpion and not in Manticore. That's just obviously that's going to go in the foot of Manticore. That was just an error. But yeah, all these devotions should fortunately work. So Ratosh is 10 green, 6 red, 6 yellow. So I think we'll go for Ratosh after we take Hawk. Well, Hawk will help us with the greens, but it also reduced cunning for ranged weapons, which is nice. We'll put a couple more points in physique. I don't know how much I'm going to need in cunning, which is why I'm being a little reticent about spending my skill points. Okay, so in any event, I want to get a Slith Primal Ring, and I need one more Slith Necklace for that, so we're going to reset. I mean, Wheel of Time is the very obvious answer, but I'm not sure if Brian McClellan, he wrote the Powder Mage trilogy, and there's a subsequent trilogy. It's definitely has a hefty dose of magic. That could be interesting. Try the Powder Mage trilogy by Brian McClellan. That might be more manageable. Yeah, Powder Mage has way more magic than First Law or... but who is it was saying... I haven't finished Farseer. I read the first two books. Oh my god, the main character annoys the hell out of me. Alright, one Slith necklace. Come on, guys. Just one. That's all we need. Yeah, I know, but still... Got the Slith necklace. Thank you. Alright. Now, if you can stop attacking me when I try to pick it up, that'd be great. Alright. Whitemire. Is that from your fiasco with all the games that got screwed up, Miso? So, I mean, if you have to spend 250 euros, there are worse things to spend it on than books by far. Okay. Now we have a... I put a corpse dust on the Slith ring, I guess. You know... I think I've got to go ectoplasm. I need the energy. There's no way. Yeah. Check out Brian McClellan. Oh, well, thanks, Sturmeister. Welcome in. Alright, I think we can take off magic. Hey, welcome in, Morndale. Alright, let me see. What do I need for one more projectile? Alright, we're gonna take 100% pass through. And we have no health, so 20% Aether Res, not great.
Is it finished? The warden's defeat is a... So you must die before... Ah, I cannot... So, the three had go to...
Alright, might as well still grab the lore notes. Wait, there's a chest in here. We should open that. Probably nothing in it. Ancient armor plate. That's actually not bad. Zealot's gauntlets. Probably not an upgrade, but always good to check.
The emissary warned.
Okay, I mean, this is a horrible roll, but if you actually wanted to play this item, getting one at level 20 is kind of nice.
I could hear the... It's not. The
So, the servant. I'll give you a good price, some more I've got left.
Still no metal to put this on, but that's because the game knows you need it. Impervious incendiary cask. Well, we can't equip it anyway. Not yet. I'll take a look. I generally am going to take most of what's on Reddit with an extreme grain of salt, but once in a while there is a miracle. Alright. Drop a portal, get the next rift gate, then we'll port back for the shrine. I am curious. I think the internet and forums and such, I find them most useful for sort of crowdsourcing an idea that is, you hear a name a bunch of times, you may not necessarily trust that it's good, but it might introduce you to an author you hadn't heard of before, and then you can sort of look at what they do and judge for yourself. And I mean, the best reviews aren't saying how good is the book. It's this book is good, and these are the things the author does that I like. because if you like those things, you can then have a better appreciation. Okay, so Tolkien is number one. That's fine. First Law, Storm of Ice and Fire, Stormlight. I haven't read enough Robin Hobb to, but that's not unreasonable. It's supposed to be one of her better series. All right. Sorry. First Law is not number two. It's good. I enjoyed Joe Abercrombie, but you're not going to convince me that First Law is better than the Stormlight Archive. Even if I don't love some of the choices Sanderson made towards the end of that, it is so much more epic in its scope and ambition. Also, Wheel of Time not being in the top 5 is just pure heresy. Harry Potter's fine. People like that. I don't know enough about it to comment. I didn't love Greenbone, but a lot of people do. I'm not, and I only read the first book, and I've heard it gets better. So let's see. I think I read Sword of Kagan. I actually think that should be much higher on the list. I'm not sure how exactly I would do this list myself, but Children of Time is 60. I did not like that. It didn't work for me. I don't know exactly why. It just seemed weird. Powder Mage deserves to be higher. Bound in the Broken I liked. I think that probably deserves to be higher. There's a bunch of random authors I haven't heard of in here as well, or at least works I haven't heard of. Gosh, Foundation tied for 139. Oof. That kind of hurts a little bit. Hold on, I need to check something. Is there a Yeah, fair enough. Viley, it didn't age great, but I don't know. I am somewhat biased towards classics. I will admit that. I wonder if Neil Gaiman is as low on the list as minus 167. So basically, everyone decided that they don't like him because of stuff he's been accused of doing, and they obliterated their views on his books, which is, I guess, not separating the art from the artist. I mean, that's the only reason it drops that much, right? And I understand why people have that reaction, but it doesn't really tell you if the book is good. All right. I'm going to look at this in more detail later, but yeah, there are some choices in here. Yeah, it's popularity is what it is. As long as you know that's what it is, that's fine. All right, there is a chance that we'll get lucky and get a MI here. Very much not holding my breath, but I mean the people who are a lot of the people who are doing that Farnsworth are the same people who try to say stupid things like speech is violence, which it obviously is not. And I'm not saying there's never a reason to not support an author, but it is crazy when you see someone's works drop 100 rating point or ranking points in a popularity contest of what books they like for really no other discernible reason. I mean, there are militant, intolerant idiots on everywhere. But I'll leave it at that. The irony of what you're saying, Violet, is that like if you look at this Reddit list, Harry Potter's still top 12. Like that's pretty far from being canceled. Whereas whereas Gaiman's rep has been completely obliterated. When if anything, the opposite would make more sense. I mean, the cynic in me, Viley, says that Gaiman is an easier target, even though his works were very popular. He's not Harry Potter, right? There is, I mean, Rowling and the world she created is much more prevalent in our popular culture. All right, there's really no reason to stay here. Maybe we'll go to the other side and see if we get lucky with a crossbow, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. That's why Rowling is basically uncancelable. People can complain about her all they want. And again, this is coming from someone make no judgment on her literary merit because I haven't read her. But she's inescapable if you want to be very blunt about it. You may not, even someone who hasn't read her still knows a ton of random Harry Potter references that I haven't seen the movies, I haven't read the books, so the fact that I know all these references and characters just shows how ubiquitous it is. I mean, they try, but the thing is, ultimately, it's a franchise that there's demand for, and people value most companies, streaming services, etc., value money more than pandering to people who are outraged. If you can make money pandering to them, that's fantastic. But the second there's a conflict between the profits of a streaming service and anything else, money is going to win. Because ultimately, even if you don't think they're greedy, they're in the business of providing entertainment that people want. I also think that we might be a bit post-cancellation in terms of where we are as a culture. It doesn't mean it will never that cancellation, so to speak, never works, but we've had enough experience where people survive it and just don't care that it's going to be harder to do. I mean, I'm just going to say I think there are going to be, unless you can actually prove that someone was engaged in certain depraved, degenerate acts, the whole guilt by association with Epstein thing, I think that's going to fade away too. And I don't really... I mean, I don't believe in guilt by association, but I also think that there are definitely some people where you look at some of the emails that were written and think, this really isn't the sort of person I want to be taking advice from or giving money to. But I think for a lot of people, it's not going to matter too much long term. You'll get the person showing up in the comment section of every social media post talking about it, and then they'll get into fights with other people in the comment section, and life is mostly going to go on. I mean, I also think her Twitter is the way it is probably because when you've had enough people, and yeah, look, it's idiots on the internet threatening to kill you and things, but when you deal with enough of that, you just say, screw it, I'm not going to care, and I'm not going to try to make people happy online, because the thing is, there are people that they will find an excuse to get offended no matter what you do, and you just can't reason with those people. And I think when you've been on the backlash or on when you've been the recipient of one of these backlash cancellation campaigns, you realize the only thing you can do, like, no amount of being nice is going to make that stop. There's always going to be an excuse for why people need to do more. So you just go all in. She's a billionaire. She doesn't care. But I mean, if I was ever the target of a cancellation campaign, I've seen enough of this crap to know that if the mob wants you, they are not going to care if you apologize. They're going to find an excuse to dislike you still. So you just have to tell them to F off and that they're irrelevant, because most of the people who are angry online are in fact irrelevant. I think the only legitimate reason to apologize is if you actually think you did something wrong, and then you apologize for that reason, not because there's an angry mob. Yeah. Frozen Heart, I think, goes here. We're not, we have to go a little further up. Okay, Consecrated of Mending, sure, we'll take that, and we'll put Rush on here, and we're a bit more mobile now. Oh, me so sure. There are people who are legitimately hurt by things she said. But there are way more people who are offended on someone else's behalf. And yeah, we don't have to get into specific details, but and yeah, absolutely, Farnsworth. Epstein is very much a case of the power of networking. And he's also someone who, if you look at what he supposedly did to make money, it actually makes no sense.
Well, you worked here. We have to hit them hard and
If you look at what he was paid for, first of all, he's not really qualified for a lot of what he did in terms of actual competence. Supposedly, he was paid a lot of money to give tax advice. He was paid more than tax attorneys at the top Wall Street law firms, by far. And there's absolutely no chance he's more knowledgeable than them. So, something strange is going on, whether it was, his network, whether it was other stuff, but as an economic entity, Epstein makes absolutely no sense.
keep your weapons.
Yes, let's try not to have a more involved conversation on that particular issue, Farnsworth, because that's just not going to end well for anyone. Yeah. Few things are as black and white as activists will have you believe. And, where's my John Stuart Mill quote when I need it? Hang on, now I actually want to find the John Stuart Mill quote. I have it, come on, John Stuart Mill, where are you? Oh yeah, he who knows only his own side of the case knows little of that. His reasons may be good, and no one may have been able to refute them. But if he is equally unable to refute the reasons on the opposite side, if he does not so much as know what they are, he has no ground for preferring either opinion. The rational position for him would be suspension of judgment, nor is it enough that he should hear the arguments of adversaries from his own teachers presented as they state them and accompanied by what they offer as refutations. That is not the way to do justice to the arguments or bring them into real contact with his own mind. He must be able to hear them from persons who actually believe them, who defend them in earnest, and do their very utmost for them. He must know them in their most plausible and persuasive form. And that's one of my favorite John Stuart Mill quotes from On Liberty. I realize I read that kind of fast, but having no health is a little disconcerting here. Alright, do we have anything that actually gives us HP? Not really. Yeah, this is incredibly low HP. You know what? Push mastery bar, that's another 150 HP. That's something. Thing is, we have to level as solo Nightblade because I might want to side with Kaimon to have access to certain Death's Vigil MIs dropped by Death's Vigil. Oh, now I understand why people are talking about Jon Stewart. A different spelling of Stewart, but still works. I actually, I mean, I never used Twitter, but I actually deactivated it. I mean, the fact that somebody thought it would be a good idea to have an AI basically remove clothing from people and create pictures of them in various states of undress is insane to me. Like, this is the sort of thing that no one should think is a good idea, and if people start doing it, you should immediately say, oh, shit, this is not something we want to happen, so we should probably figure out how to prevent it. I mean, I don't even... It is a moral position, but I think it's also just a common sense position that you should figure out that this is not going to end well for you. That's the... You were talking about the Reddit author list, Farnsworth, earlier. Okay, I understand now. I think we... I had moved on in chat and was wondering what that was referring to, but that makes sense. I mean, Twitter was made a toxic cesspool in its founding, and if anything, Musk has probably made it worse, but people who are too lazy to use complete sentences sniping at each other has always been what Twitter's about. All right. What were... Oh yeah, I think we want we're going for Ratosh. Hold on. So this does nothing for us, but the acid to pierce I don't actually think hurts us. And this is health, pierce, elemental res. Yeah, this is still an upgrade, so we will we'll take it. We need every little bit of health we can get. All right, a tiny bit of aether res for 5% health. Let me see. I don't know if there's a right answer on that one. All right. All right, shields up. Well, to be fair, is Homer really considered fantasy? After a certain number of millennia, I think it falls into some category of classic. But yes, no weird modern translations of Homer. Yeah, are you talking about... I forget the name of the translator. I think she's a professor at Penn, or was a professor at Penn. Farnsworth for the Homer translation. I think I have... let me actually check... I think I have Fagles. I think I have Fitzgerald for the Aeneid. And I'm pretty sure I must have something really old as well, because I have a lot of my grandfather's old books, just because I love old books, and the thought of getting rid of them was just not acceptable. Oh, I believe me, I do. I have... When I think it was in the 60s, I don't know if that was when they came out, but I have sometime from the 1960s. It's unfortunately almost complete. There's one or two that went missing over the years, but the old Britannica Great Book series. I think Constance Garnett translates the Russian authors, among others. You know, it's got... well, it's got a lot of stuff. It's got Plutarch, of course. a lot of the classical Greek scientists and mathematicians. It is a shame, but I mean, I'm not too fussed with collecting things. So, and I mean, there's always a chance that it'll randomly just show up that it's been buried under 20 other things, but probably not. It might even be only one that's missing, actually, but it's one or two. That must have been something. 15th century. Sorry, it was stolen, because that'd be a spectacular thing to have. Yeah. Being surrounded by books is nice. I'm going to drop a portal and get the next Rift Gate, because we're actually going to fight Rowena Kerr for her crossbow. That's understandable, Farnsworth. I mean, at that point, it's not even the price. It's just... It's also the history of the item. Okay, so we just go right to Rowena Kerr, right? Hmm. Hardcover for anything I anticipate rereading. I think paperback is usually more than fine. All right. Oh, you're a healer. Can you die first? All right, we killed the healer. We missed. I think she has a shotgun, which I'm trying to not get hit by. Oh, you're running away. Don't run into a healer, please. Oh, healer, die. This is slightly awkward in that it tries to auto attack if Phantasmal Blades isn't up. So, oh, healer. Another. Oh God, there were two healers, too many to kill. All right. Well, now you're just annoying. Better give me a decent crossbow. That's all I can say. Decaying of Veracity, that will play. Alright. Fair enough, Rowena Kerr. You gave me something worthwhile. Clerics of Decay. Is that better than what I have? It might be. We lose a little bit of Ellie res and bleed res. Yeah. and let's see, cunning requires 190, which we have, so okay, good to know. Let's we still need to push a bit further, but I was curious. Phantasmal Blades now does up to 2600 damage. Okay, it's a little bit crazy that this crossbow, well, it does have 2 more projectiles, so you take whatever your damage increase and you multiply it by about 1.25. Alright, we don't have great Vit Res, so be a little careful here. Oh, wow. Okay. Just try not to get hit too much by Kilrian. So like I said, we don't have Vit Res. Did we just miss outright on that? Yeah, we're missing a lot. You know what? He dropped his soul, so that basically makes this worth it. Okay. Is my character taking a sobriety test? What do you mean? Alright.
Well, world, damn, now that
Oh, it's largely because I'm more concerned with not getting hit by Kilrian than I am with actually connecting, but fair enough. Alright, we don't have enough royal jelly, so we can't actually turn this quest in unless we've already done it. No, we haven't, so... I'm putting a few points in spirit just because... I mean... I don't know how much it's going to actually help us, but... We've got to do something about our energy issues. And we can actually start putting components on. I've been very lazy about doing that, but... If I see a soul shard, that might help a little bit. Yeah, Sanderson's world building, I think, is excellent. When you get enemies lined up, this pass-through is so satisfying. Oh boy. Shambler. Alright, let's see. Alright, this is an improvement. Explorer. Reduced trap duration, slow res, more armor. Yeah, this is better. So I read Stormlight first. I've only read the first book of Mistborn. I don't see any issue going about it that way. Like, the Cosmere worlds are related in theory, but like reading Stormlight Archive isn't going to spoil really anything. I don't think anything in Mistborn. It's not like the characters are sitting around a campfire talking about what happened in the Mistborn series.
Well, if it isn't my old friend, I haven't been. I came.
Yeah, I agree with that, Farnsworth. It's different. It's different magic systems. Yeah, I think Sanderson in general is much more into like the more of a rules-based magic system, and focused on limitations and things like that, which I actually really like Sanderson's Laws of Magic, and I agree with him that the limitations are more interesting than powers. It's like the powers are cool, but like there needs to be a reason why you can't just do everything, otherwise you don't have a plot. All right, well, I guess we'll rescue Dahlia if we can find the pathing. Yeah, and you know, power creep can be a little bit fun in gaming, but if there's just one meta you have to follow, it becomes less interesting. I mean, it's, you know, classic D&D or ARPGs. Your power grows, but so do your problems. And that tends to work okay. I mean, there's legitimately a massive amount of power creep in say Wheel of Time, but it also fits the plot. The enemies they face become more challenging, the stakes rise, and so forth. As, you know, as long as the powers, the reason why they have the powers are well explained, I think it's okay. Okay, so I don't love doing this, but I'm not going to farm dynamite when I have to use a portal. So let's just 2 Aether Shards, 6 Dynamite. Let's do this. We have more than enough Aether Crystals. I don't see any Aether Shards. No, we didn't have any. Good. Alright, now we can actually get the Pine Barrens. Aether Shards, you mean, Viley? This is one of those lessons learned on the Gore stack, I assume. Let me, fun book covers. Yeah, I agree. This is a really cool cover. So we were not going to get to it today, but once we kill the Amalgamation and side with Kaimon, we will we'll be able to farm Death's Vigil for MIs that are helpful for our build. They got the +1 Necromancer Ami, and then probably the +3 Soul Harvest Helm. It's a pretty good choice. We have a Manticore Poison Gland already, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have to find Megara. We're not going to do Tyrant's Hold. We'll just do the first 4 quests. We will get the second shrine, however. Okay, we can't pick up more than one quest item, of course. Okay, Megara hurts a bit. Let's not get sundered. No idea, Farnsworth. I feel like the quest item drop table is usually separate, but there are many mysteries in this game. I think they improved the spam version, but I think the spam version is still worse in terms of overall energy consumption, which is why we're doing cooldown. Eventually, I'll get some more points in Phantasmal Armor, which gives energy leech. We'll get a the Vitres component that that helps a bit, but we haven't found any soul shards yet, I don't think, unless I'm just not seeing them in my inventory, which is possible, but is this good impervious? No. Oh, I do have a soul shard. Hold on. I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference. Do I have a do I have a spike? All right. I may not be able to do this shrine then. Alright, well that fixes our Vitres. That's something. Oh, I do have a serrated spike, okay. Just had to take a minute to find it. And let's see my devotions. I think maybe we take Eel so that we can take Kraken and then refund Eel. Except we can't even do that because we need the blue affinity. All right. That's fine. We're on our way. I do have an ectoplasm for the helm. There's no reason not to use it, right? Yeah. We may need resistances later, but I think that's a battle for another day. We will take that serrated spike. Yeah. Maybe at least drop it down to soft cap. And we can put more points in the third node. That's a good idea. I think 16 gives you another projectile. That's why I had it that high. Because I was looking for the next projectile.
So how good work?
Alright, let me refund a bit. Alright, so we'll take eel. And then we'll get Kraken. Put a few points in spirit as well for what little that's going to do for us. Yeah, so 7 projectiles, 7, 7, 7, 7. If we take one more point, yeah, that goes to 6. So we want 16, I think. Even though it is maybe a little bit on the expensive side. Alright, I think that's decent. I'm going to dump a few points in Mastery for now. I might refund those once we select Necro. But a few more stat points will not go to waste. Yeah, 10 is the 100% pass-through. We get, I think, a little more leech and a little more flat vid out of it, but
These are trying. I wasn't sure. I wish I'm going to.
I'll skip the Legion is split on.
all right. I think at the rate we're going, we'll get the next Rift Gate. And the shrine, and then call it there. Yeah. We'll see if I do have it on cooldown, so if the ectoplasm doesn't make enough of a difference, we'll reconsider. But as long as we can get away with it soft capped, I think we'll do it for a while. Like, the second ectoplasm is clearly, I think, helping us already. Oh, this is one of those, we don't have room. Alright, we'll take the quest item. Thank you, Rec, for the raid. Welcome in, guys. We are leveling Vitality Phantasmal Blades. We will be a Reaper once we get the chance to add Necro. How was your stream, Rec? You're back to Grim Dawn for a bit, or just decided to test some stuff out today? Okay, 0% Chaos Res is not going to feel good in the Blood Grove, so we're going to be a bit careful here. Hopefully, maybe we'll grab some Chaos Res before we get to the Blood Grove. That'd be nice. Hey, Ground Zero, welcome in. All right, have a good night, Susie. Appreciate you dropping by. I'll see you next time. XCOM tomorrow, more Grim Dawn over the weekend. Definitely taking longer than normal. Okay, we lose a little bit of elemental bleed, res, and health, but we get a ton of health and energy regen. I think this is a must for us for now. There's no way we can continue without working on our energy regen. Yeah, we desperately need HP. You want, well, a lot more than this on hardcore. A typical rule of thumb, I would say 180 per HP per level, and we are, as you can see, barely at 100. We might throw some points in Ring of Steel. I don't know yet. So we don't have any plus to Nightblade, which makes it a little more awkward. Yeah, once we have spectral binding, many of our problems will go away.
There was much I see my scouts have reported.
Just the person. There are two other. I have come to represent Kaiman's Chosen. Is the one you call Ulgrim has...
All right, let's sell some junk. All right, that fixes a little bit of our chaos res. Okay, this actually pretty much completely fixes our chaos res. Actually, our aether res is still terrible. We'll reuse the ectoplasm. The chaos to fire conversion does not matter because this gives 100% chaos to Vit for Phantasmal Blade and skill specific supersedes. So all right, let's see if any of these gloves are any better than what we have. Pierce Elemental Stun. Okay, this is way more this is way more armor. I think that wins. And check components quickly, see if there's anything. Okay, our bleed res is awful. No, I didn't mean to sell the Unholy Inscription. I want to use that. Okay, that's... We'll fix our Vit res. What level do we have to be for Aether Souls? At 32 or 24? Hold on. I don't know these things because, you know, when you speed level, you're level 33 almost instantly. Required level 24. Alright, wait, no, we don't have enough ectoplasm, so we can't craft an Aether Soul. Whoops. Alright, now let's And now we are a necromancer. That feels a little bit better. All right. Well, I'm sure this is going to be an interesting dialogue. Usually, I talk to them before. I talk to them in their lair before I turn necromancer, but. I might actually next level experiment with spamming PB. Obviously, we can't just hold right mouse, but we might be able to get away with a bit more damage here. Although, as I recall, I actually don't need to talk to these guys at all. I can just do all their quests and then turn them in. So, yeah, let's just keep going through Bloodgrove, I guess. Michio, welcome in. We'll see. I am looking forward to my Nightblade Berserker combo, and then my Berserker Arcanist combo. Alright, let's see how this feels. If it feels bad, we can always change it back. Okay, so far that's not bad. Mostly if we're mindful to not be overly wasteful, I think we can handle this level of energy. It's fit damage and health. Maybe we equip that. Alright, so killing Bolvar advances the Kaimon quest log. So I suppose we'll do that. We have 50% Chaos Res. That's better than the 0 it was not too long ago. Okay, now we see the energy drain. We might be facing some mobs with energy leech, though. Right, give me just a second, guys. Looks like my dog is staring at me, and seems like she might want to go out. So I'm gonna let her out. Let her out quickly. So be right back. Okay, we're back. Shirley is taken care of. Ow. You know, this is 50% Chaos Res, not 0% Chaos Res, Bolvar. Void Touch of the Abyss. All right, that's a roll. Yeah, so Bolvar, scarier than Voldrak on this build because you don't have the Chaos Res. But we've killed him at least, so. Alright, now where are these prisoners? Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we're going to fight the boss who drops the +3 Soul Harvest Helm. Now, you know, if we were playing a pet build or something that needed Manticore Eyes, we would not be getting that drop. Alright, Ill Omen will be able to use that as a devotion procer at least soon. Probably have high vit res on this guy. Stonehide of the Void is worthless, but you know what? Stonehide is at least stun res, and this requires level 36. Okay, +1 Necro is nice, but I don't think we can afford to lose all these resistances. So we might have to farm a better version of that. Meantime, why don't we go through and kill Karaz? I think I'm going to take another crack at that boss. And we might take another crack at Rowena Kerr as well. Now that we're higher level, I think she can drop a level 32 item, which will have higher base weapon damage for Phantasmal Blades. So that's probably worth doing too. And I think once we get those upgrades, we'll call the stream. Put ourselves in a good position for starting up again on Saturday morning. Hey, welcome back, Morndale. It's all right. We finally got a Spectral Arbalast at level 20. We have a couple ectoplasms to make energy not a complete disaster. Still not great though. But yeah, we're probably gonna try to get a couple more gear upgrades and get through Karaz, and then pick up on Saturday morning. Okay, Zarya. Oh, we also should get the Bloodgrove Shrine. And maybe we'll not do Karaz tonight. Let's get this this shrine though. Yeah, we can check the vendor for the amulet as well. But I'm going to try to refarm the helm, so if he drops a good amulet, we'll use that finally. But yeah, this vendor, if you just need the Death's Vigil amulet or the Kaimon medal, you can vendor farm and not worry about what side you are. It's if you need the helm is when you need to actually worry about who you're siding with, because that determines the boss that you can hunt. But yeah, the amulet itself or the medal is for Kaimon. It's nice, but because you get way more drops, but it's not necessary. All right, let's reset. Yeah, the Nemesis 2. Yes. Oh, and also what Rex said. If you're asking if I was playtesting, the answer is no. But yeah, Fangs of Asterkarn will come out one day. All right. We're going to try Rowena Kerr, try to get like a level 32 weapon, and then see if we can get something a little bit better from the Death Vigil boss in Fort Heron. Okay, Decaying of the Void is not... Wait, this isn't even... What are the eye levels on this? Because this is the same... This is level 20 eye level with... Yeah. Shouldn't she be dropping better eye level? Alright, let's go to Fort Heron quickly. That they are, Miso. Enjoy the Stormlight books. They're a lot of fun. Alright, it's bad impervious, but Better than nothing? I guess. Alright, let's reset. I'm just going to quickly check Grim Tools to make sure I'm not wasting my time on the Rowena Kura thing. I thought there's a level 32... Okay, so there is a level 32 version of this. So we'll try one more time. Alright, so these can't be equipped for a while anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about upgrades. Our Grim Tools at 31 or 32 will be what it is. At least now that we have the MI and a slightly better energy situation, feels like we're going to be able to progress. Just have to... we need to work on our Aetherez before we get the Mammoth, that's one thing. But I imagine we'll get better gear, Aether Souls, that sort of thing. Worst case, I guess we grab Salile Pants. That's... not a horrible idea. Salile Pants have implicit Aetherez. Which I currently need. Drika's Vit and Stunrez. I might need Stunrez. Okay, as a matter of fact, I do need Stunrez. So... Alright. After we fight Rowena Kura, we will... maybe we'll fight the Dreeg boss and see if we get anything interesting. First, we need an anti-venom salve on the belt because I'm not going in there with 61 poison res. And come to think of it, that Salile boss with 50% chaos res, I don't know if that's sketchy or not. Alright, same low eye level, so I'm not going to keep farming that for now. We'll take a break. We'll do more farming on Saturday.
Got any more scrap metal?
We have an ancient armor plate. We might as well use it. Yeah, Vid is fine. Preserving of readiness. Alright, maybe we will farm Salile as well. You know, I actually think is Rhymefrost additional Aether Res, and it's yeah, these massive improvement for the ancient armor plate on these. Our Aether Res is slightly less laughable now. Alright. And let's actually craft a Wardstone too. Put the Mark of the Traveler on boots. It takes a while to get those sometimes. Okay, I think this is a pretty reasonable stopping point. Let's see who's on. I think I'll Warborn is still on. I think I will send you guys over his way to keep the Grim Dawn going. Let me pull up a level 32 Grim Tools for everyone so that we can see. Hold on. I have so many characters. There's no way if I don't have the name, I'm going to be able to pull up the Grim Tools efficiently. Wait, Max is on? Okay, what is Max? We don't get the raid Max too often. What is? Yeah, we don't get the raid Max that much. Let's go say hi to Max. But if you guys want to watch Grim Dawn Warborn's also streaming, I'll probably pop over there myself at some point, but sometimes you have to raid someone you haven't raided in a while. Did I, okay, I posted the Grim Tools, perfect, that's all set. So tomorrow afternoon I will be playing a bit more XCOM, and then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday morning, we'll continue on this Vitality Phantasmal Blades Reaper SSF series. So that'll be the plan. Thanks again, Rect, for the raid. Much appreciated. And I'm sending you guys over to Max.